This is the weekly sales meeting for December 7th, 2025. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic, becoming self-aware. Most people go through life without ever truly knowing themselves. We respond to the world, we chase what others tell us to chase, and we believe what we are told to believe. We follow routines, habits, and patterns we didn't choose. In fact, research shows that up to 95% of our behavior is driven by the subconscious mind. That means most people aren't acting with awareness. We are reacting out of habit. In outside sales, this lack of awareness leads to the same mistakes repeated over and over. We chase the wrong type of clients. When we finally do get in front of a prospect, we will misread the room, and then we blame our failure on a myriad of external conditions. The result is failure to advance or grow. But there's another path. It's a higher path. The best salespeople evolve into something more than good closers. We become thinkers. We become learners. Most importantly, we become self-aware. As psychiatrist Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Self-awareness is the process of pulling your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors into the light so you can examine them. By doing so, you can learn to question them, and with this introspection, you will improve them. It is the superpower that separates the average from the elite. One of the best compliments I ever received was from a former employer. After one strategy and planning meeting, my boss made a pointed comment. I had laid out our personnel needs for our team for the coming year. This person paused the conversation. I had said I needed to fill in some gaps where I was weaker. I did not need help in a couple of other areas, as those were my strengths. My employer said it is the mark of a trusted professional to know what one is good at and where you have challenges. Not many come to that realization in real time. Fewer can admit it. I took that as a compliment. Over the years, I've developed the method of becoming more aware of my own strengths and weaknesses. It is the process of becoming self-aware. You might ask, what does it take to become self-aware? And how can you train yourself to reach this level of clarity? Let's start with what self-awareness means. It's not about being emotional all the time or having every answer. It's about noticing your own patterns. It's about knowing how you react. What are your beliefs? What do you fear? What are you good at? It is learning to ask, why did I respond that way? Or what am I feeling here? Self-awareness is noticing when you are triggered. It is recognizing when your ego is driving the conversation. It is recognizing that you are blaming the buyer when you should be looking at your process. In sales, it is realizing that the client didn't say no to you. The buyer said no to how you presented your value. The first step towards self-awareness is reflection. Tasha Eurich is an organizational psychologist, researcher, and best-selling author. She is known for her work on self-awareness and leadership development. Her book is called Insight. In it, she explores how we can achieve success by developing a deeper understanding of ourselves and how others perceive us. A Harvard Business Review study found that most leaders think they are self-aware, but only 10 to 15% are. The rest live in what Tasha Eurich calls the self-awareness gap. We think that we see ourselves clearly, but we don't. To close the gap, sellers need to stop after every sales call and reflect. What went well? What didn't? Was I listening or only wanting to talk? Did I lead with curiosity or control? These questions act like mirrors. They show us the things we wouldn't notice in the moment. Over time, we build a habit of introspection. This habit becomes a foundation for growth. Another way to build self-awareness is to invite feedback. This is not easy. The ego wants to be right. It wants to look good. But the only way to see our blind spots is to ask others what we are missing. Top sellers ask their managers, their teammates, and even clients, is there anything I could have done better? That one question takes courage, but it opens the door to learning. Ray DeLeo is a billionaire investor, hedge fund manager, and founder of Bridgewater Associates. It is one of the world's largest investment firms. He is also the author of Principle. This book outlines his philosophy on life, leadership, and decision-making. The process is based on radical transparency and thoughtful reflection. He puts it like this: if you don't look at yourself objectively, you can't grow. Self-reflection is the key to improvement. Emotional intelligence is also part of self-awareness. According to research by TalentSmart, 90% of top performers have high emotional intelligence. This includes the ability to recognize your emotions, understanding how they affect your behavior, and how to control them in high-stakes moments. This means staying calm when a deal falls through. It means not panicking when a buyer asks tough questions. It means not taking rejection personally. High self-awareness helps you pause, breathe, and choose your response. This is instead of reacting out of fear or frustration. Self-aware sellers also recognize our own patterns. We know what triggers stress. We know which clients drain us. We understand when we tend to cut corners or fall into lazy habits. Instead of blaming others, we take responsibility. Jocko Willenick is a former Navy SEAL and author of Extreme Ownership. He says discipline equals freedom. Self-awareness gives us the discipline to own our actions and make changes. It creates freedom from bad habits and emotional baggage. Another important part of self-awareness is our values. Great sellers know what we stand for. We don't only chase a commission check, we chase alignment. We know which clients fit our model and which ones we should think twice about. We know when to walk away. We don't sell our souls for the quick fix. That kind of clarity only comes from deep reflection. Why am I in sales? What kind of business do I want to build? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? These questions are not soft. They are the strongest of questions. They give you a sense of direction. They give you action of purpose. It's called integrity. One path to self-awareness could be in your writing. Some will call it journaling. Writing down your thoughts each day helps you understand what's going on inside. It slows you down. It brings clarity. Neuroscience shows that the act of writing helps us process emotions, organize ideas, and identify patterns. This act can be as simple as writing down 3 things. What did I do well today? What didn't go well? And what can I learn from it? This daily practice builds awareness over time, and this awareness leads to action. Meditation or reflection is another tool. While it might sound unrelated to sales, it is 100% connected. Your introspection will train the mind to focus. It helps you observe your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. This translates to clearer thinking under pressure. It means noticing when your mind is racing and how you can slow it down. A study from Harvard University shows 8 weeks of mindfulness training leads to changes in the brain's self-awareness centers. Even 5 minutes a day can help a seller become more present. Being present in your everyday life can help you have better conversations. Self-aware sellers also study themselves like a case study. We look at our pipeline and ask, why did this deal close? Why did this one stall? What behavior patterns do I see in my calls? Am I talking too much? Am I qualifying deep enough? Am I bringing insight or merely pushing products? We analyze not to judge, but to improve. That process is what can separate the technician from the craftsman. The technician repeats automated tasks. The craftsman refines them. Of course, growth doesn't come without resistance. When you start to become self-aware, you uncover things you don't like. It will reveal your insecurities. You may agonize over missed chances. It will pinpoint your bad habits. But that is the point. Growth is uncomfortable. As author Mark Manson writes, you can't be an important and life-changing presence for some people without being a joke and an embarrassment to others. That includes being a joke to your past self. The goal is to look back and realize that you have changed, and you can accurately measure how much. For sales teams, promoting self-awareness means creating a culture of honest feedback and continuous learning. Managers should model it. We should admit our own blind spots. We should coach with curiosity, not correction. We should ask our sellers, what did you notice about your call? Instead of jumping in with critiques. This coaching style helps sellers see themselves more clearly. Rather than heap more misery on your sales team, this coaching style builds their confidence. It is also important to separate identity from outcome. A self-aware seller knows that losing a deal doesn't mean they are a failure. It only means something in the process needs an adjustment. This mindset builds resilience. It helps sellers bounce back faster. As Carol Dweck writes in Mindset, people with a growth mindset achieve more than those with a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is one where you believe you can change and improve. Self-awareness feeds that growth mindset. It helps you learn instead of crumble. Self-awareness also improves how you are perceived. Buyers can sense it. A self-aware seller listens more than they talk. We ask better questions. We show empathy. We don't act like we have all the answers. We will seek first to understand the problem before offering advice or solutions. This creates trust, and trust drives decisions. It has been stated many times in the weekly sales meeting, 78% of buyers are more likely to buy from someone they trust. That trust starts with how you carry yourself, and how you carry yourself starts with how well you know yourself. In the end, self-awareness isn't a destination. It is a daily habit. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's not about having all the answers. It's about asking better questions. Top sellers go beyond knowing their product or their market. We get to know ourselves. We examine our thoughts, our habits, and our triggers. And we understand that the greatest obstacle to growth isn't external. It is internal. It is not the economy or the competition holding us back. It is the mindset we bring to every conversation. Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. In sales, the same holds true. The unexamined process is not worth repeating. If you want better results, you need better thinking. And better thinking starts with knowing yourself. Know your habits, know your mindset, and know your blind spots. That kind of clarity doesn't come from luck or repetition. It comes from looking in the mirror on a regular basis. You must ask the hard questions and listen to your answers. Self-awareness isn't a one-time event. It is a daily discipline. And it's this discipline that gives you a competitive edge. The truth is, most people never reach this level of growth. They stay on autopilot, chasing the next deal, the next script, or looking for the next shortcut. But top-performing sellers take a different path. We turn inward. We reflect on our actions. We challenge our own assumptions. We commit to lifelong learning and therefore growth. But here is the rub. It is not easy, it is not fast, but it is real. Over time, that inner work doesn't only make us better sellers, it makes us wiser and more grounded. The result is it makes us better people. And that is the real win. Real evolution in sales isn't about moving more product or hitting your quota. It is about becoming someone who leads with clarity, someone who learns with a degree of humility, and someone who takes action with intention. Self-awareness makes that possible. It helps you see beyond the surface. It allows you to recognize what is driving your behavior, and it gives you a path to adjust even in real time. It turns average sellers into trusted partners. It transforms pressure into purpose. In the end, it is not only what you sell, it is how well you show up and how well you carry yourself. Are you a typical seller or a trusted partner? Becoming self-aware is a difference maker for your career. Get started on that journey today. My new book, Double Your Revenue, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy or two. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.